Our final character guide is upon us, and our simple minded strongman companion, Wolfgang, steps in the spotlight. He will never let us forget just how mighty he is, but he may not be as simple as one might think. It would seem that our pal here has an ethnic background compiled of numerous European origins. I mean, heck, off the bat, his own name is German. Find yourself a nice amphibian meal on wheels, and Wilf will call what follows a delicacy, perhaps suggesting a side of French. Examine a hammer, and he'll exclaim that it needs a sickle, clearly referencing the Soviets. And Wolf loves the cold, as he will yell for the thermal measure to work incorrectly, with cold being up and hot down, furthering the connection with that of Russia. But his lore goes deeper still. It is said that Wolfie has always loved being a part of a team effort, but where did that come from? Well, his Vignette reveals quite a lot. It says, whether in troops or troops, Wolfgang has always thrived in the spirit of camaraderie. He considers the day he joined the survivors to be the moment his luck finally took a turn for the better. Troops or troops? The hell is the difference? Well, a troupe is referencing a circus troupe, and his rosette skin is a bloody circus rose attire, for Pete's sake, so there's no denying that. Man, him and Wes should hit the road together. It'd be quite a show. And Troupe is grounded in the military. With his guest of honor skin, Wolf wears himself what is called a mess dress, a set of formal attire worn by officers within the military. You have my respect, buddy. To further this, examine a tamed rider beefalo, and Wolf will remember his time in the cavalry. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, and examine a pitchfork to reveal that it reminds Wolf of his childhood, suggesting a life grown on a farm, maybe? And he hates cats, or at least he doesn't trust them very much. Enough of that. Let's talk stats, and that's where things get really interesting. You see, Wolfgang can have a max health ranging from 150 to 300. His hunger is a whopping 300 max, and his sanity sits at a steady 200. But how the hell can his health fluctuate so drastically? Well, I think it's time to discuss Wolf's special power, his mightiness levels. Let's get to it. What you're seeing now is his regular form, or the starting form you're in when you initially spawn in as Wolfgang here. In this form, Wolf appears to be a slim yet fit individual with visibly thicker features than that of the other characters in-game. He begins with a max health of 200, with no extra bonuses to boast about. Now, Wolf will stay in this form while his hunger sits between 100 and 225, and players' hunger will actually decrease 1.5 times faster while in this form. But what happens when your hunger drops below that threshold? Say hello to Wimpy Wolf. In this debuff form, Wolf undergoes a drastic physical downgrade upon dropping to 100 hunger or less, and his appearance gets hit hard. Not only is he physically shorter in-game now, but he has a sad and pathetic look about him, and that just breaks my heart. In this form, max health drops from 200 to 150, and a negative damage modifier of 0.75 to 0.5 times is applied, depending on hunger levels. Plus, the player will experience a gradual decrease of movement speed, and hunger can decrease at a rate of 1.5 times that of normal. Poor Wolf. So, that's one end of the spectrum. How about the other? A mighty Wolfgang is here to stay. When hunger reaches heights of 225 and above, Wolf will have himself an issue with his wardrobe. As his shirt rips apart, his arms get even more armier, and his head and mustache grow to crazy proportions. He is not only both bigger and taller, his max health skyrockets to 300. His damage bonus reaches that of 2 times the normal rate, and he has himself a 25% speed boost. However, hunger will decrease between 1.5 and 3 times faster than normal, leading to a linear decrease in said damage modifier. For example, 300 hunger equals 2 times damage, while 299 hunger equals 1.99 times damage. 298 hunger, 1.98 times damage, so on and so forth. To take advantage of that insane damage increase, we should wield a weapon that does insane damage. Head into the magic tab to nab yourself a dark sword, a weapon that does 68 damage by itself. And before you begin any type of slaughtering, make sure you get that hunger as high as it can go, as the damage output will be quite noticeable. I mean, just make note of the apparent drop-off just in this clip alone. I started at 135 and ended at 131 in just a matter of seconds. But a mighty wolf will have zero issue with taking down pretty much anything in the entirety of Don't Starve, including the big bads like our big fluffy friend Bearger here, or the fiery meanie Dragonfly. Just make sure you know what you're doing and pay attention, unlike this bearded idiot. As far as going mighty in times of need and about when to heal, get used to shoving meaty balls in your mouth, as meatballs are number 1. But bacon and eggs plus some rounds of dragon pies will suffice too. With healing, due to heal scaling that Wolf has, the player should only really heal quote-unquote permanent damage taken when wimpy, as the damage taken when fully mighty is actually quote-unquote non-existent due to the upscaling. Couple things to note. A Belt of Hunger under the Magic tab once again can be useful in nullifying hunger drain, allowing the player to remain mighty longer. There is an animation that occurs between switching mightiness levels, and it can be really bad, and it can bite you up the ass. So be careful there. Don't get caught out and off guard. Even though you do the most damage in-game while mighty, you also do the least damage in-game when wimpy. If you ain't cut out for the job, run on home. Wolf is nycophobic, meaning he will suffer from a 10% greater sanity degradation from the darkness and monsters when compared to other players. So you will find yourself battling sanity as Wolf. So make sure you have your essentials, your lovely cooked green caps, a nice juicy big jerky, your steamy cooked cactus flesh, and of course, your fancy tam o'shanter in your back pocket. Ain't no one going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs today. There it is, folks. The end of our Don't Starve Together character guides. It's been a lovely journey, and I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I hope to see you around for more to come. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.